Welcome to season three, week two of Chasing the Delta Academy League Race. Bringing you our normal format this week of two 20-minute sprint races at beautiful Mugello in Tuscany, Italy. You can see some of our drivers getting warmed up here right now. We've got about 90 seconds left of open practice, before our qualifying session opens. So, if you're lucky, you can get one more lap in, finish out your lap, uh, shake the hands out, wiggle the fingers, take a deep breath, and then get out on track to put together your qualifying lap. So, looking at Dan Fuqua in the BMW coming into turn one here. It's a very fun track with a lot of passing opportunities. One of the biggest challenges, I think, is figuring out which corners are actual passing opportunities and which ones are just setup corners, because particularly the first and second chicane can be really tempting to put a move on. But if you're not really close or already next to the car that you're trying to pass, you end up losing out pretty much whether you go inside or outside. It's just got barely enough of a zigzag to make it super awkward to go through there side by side. And plenty times you'll see cars that go side by side through there actually lose the positions out to cars that are behind them, who are able to carry the ideal racing line, carry enough speed. So it's going to be one of the things that these drivers should be focusing on as we get into our sprint races this week. Can you make good passing decisions? Could be one of the longest pit lane straights in iRacing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's up there. I mean, we're talking like good 10-15 seconds that you're just flat out on the throttle from the final corner all the way to the straight. Trying to think of other similar tracks as our drivers leave the pits, head out onto track for our open qualifying session. I guess Fuji's got a pretty long pit straight. Barcelona's pretty long. But both of those tracks really choke you up coming out of that last corner. It's not the same as this one, where if you get a good launch, you really slingshot and have an opportunity to draft and make some moves into turn one. So in our practice races, we saw guys go as much as 5-6 wide on the start of the race, and knock on wood, they were actually able to get it sorted going through turn one and into the first chicane, turns 2 and 3. So hopefully we'll be able to see that come to pass in tonight's races as well. We are a little over a minute into our 10-minute qualifying session, so at this point I'll bring you viewers back into the voice chat. I don't anticipate a lot of talking during qualifying, but we'll see what anybody has to say as we prepare for our first race. Thank you for joining us.
Eddie, I'm going to be running at this speed just to give Jeffrey the space.
Yeah, Nick, I've given Howard some space too, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, Dad, I guess.
y'all can hear me, right?
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Thought I was having some mic issues.
You are very soft, not very loud.
Hey, I didn't know you were looking at my video camera, calling me soft.
Let me rephrase that.
TMI. Let me fix that. Is this better? Getting better?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, cool.
And as the lap times start to file in, you can see our two fastest runners from practice, Kevin Cohen and Guy Araujo. Sorry, Guy, if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Pull in with times just 1/10 of a second apart from each other. They were about 1/10 of a second off of each other in practice as well, but I think they've both picked up their pace from practice 2-3 tenths, so they've really got this figured out. Guy's been fast for many weeks. It's still impressive, but we almost expect that from him at this point. And Kevin seems to have really unlocked something with his driving in the past. I don't know. I would say the second half of season 2 and then throughout season 1 or season 3 so far, these first couple races that we're running, he really seems to have unlocked something with his driving. Nick Cox coming in just a tenth behind second place in third. So with our races being split up into pro and am classes, that's our 2K iRating plus and sub 2K drivers. We're looking at an AM Pro and then AM for P1 through 3. Just reinforcing what we've told a lot of these guys, that they're really driving at a pace above their iRating. It's just a matter of drilling in the consistency and getting some more races in, and they'll be above that 2K in no time. Kevin himself is within 100 points of graduating, so looking forward to seeing that coming. And Carrie, another one of our grads.
2-minute warning. Again, as always, just a reminder, as long as you cross that line before the timer runs up, you can finish that lap.
Aaron Myers with some race direction coming across the voice chat for our drivers, and Carey Jr. taking P3 narrowly by a few hundredths of a second from Nick Cox. I think if I had to choose, I'd almost rather start P3 instead of P2 at this place, just because you're behind the leader, you have that inside line going into turn 1. It's very hard to make a pass around the outside work there, especially on cold tires. So he's sitting in a good spot. Looks like Kevin actually improved his time there. Fastest lap of a 1:56.3. We do run an open qualifying session, as I've said before, which adds a little bit of complexity in for our drivers, having to negotiate traffic and give each other space, or maybe even sneak up behind somebody and get a draft for a lap. Luckily, it seems like there haven't been too many conflicts between our drivers today. Not that there's any conflict necessarily, but someone's going to get in someone's way on a hot lap. It's almost inevitable. Only about a half a second spanning P2 all the way to P6 with Jimmy Munyi. Less than half a second. So there's plenty of guys that are going to be ready to fight for a podium. If they can make it through the first couple laps clean and tuck in for a draft. Dylan Caldwell coming across the line in the Vlasic pickle car, not sponsored, followed by the Chips Ahoy car.
Seeing a lot of personal bests on these last laps. Nice job, guys.
I basically did 3 nearly identical laps, which I should be happy with. But I didn't get faster.
Hey, consistency wins races.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Kevin, how close are you to 2K?
I pretty much knock on its door once a week, and then I come in last place.
You've got to get it, like,
So
the race
relatable.
after this one.
I've been so close, man. The way I come in last is always so heartbreaking.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Oh yeah.
iRating is dumb in the fact that, you know, if you can be like 1500 or 1495, and if you, depending on what split you're put in, you can gain a whole bunch or you can lose a whole bunch.
Yep, exactly.
You'll get there.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it. It'll come. I'll be gone all weekend again, so I'll miss practice and miss my chance to grind this track.
Oh, you got to bring your rig with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Max Verstappen brings a controller
Do it on controller. Yeah.
and still races at like a 9K level.
Yeah, I don't got that.
All right,
You-
that's our
you-
qualifying. What were you gonna say, Farron?
I was gonna say you don't have the portable rig or that level of autism.
Both.
You gotta put that in your work contract. I will only travel if you equip this. Like a rock star.
Great laps, guys.
Yeah, fantastic.
Have a fairly small spread between all the times. Looks like a couple of you guys might have got bit by some off tracks here and there, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But next race.
Yeah, I only did one clean lap, the last one.
Same.
Same. I only did 2 laps, but same.
Who's wearing the pink Chickasaw?
All right. So just to go over a quick race briefing, it's not going to be really much different than last week. It'll be more so reminders than anything else. So starting out, congratulations to Kevin. He's our pole sitter for this race. So Kevin,
Nice
you'll set the pace. You're allowed to go whenever you feel like going. You do not have to wait for the green flag. So with that being said, everybody else try to pay attention to when Kevin goes. Don't get caught out or caught sleeping when he takes off. You will get swallowed up coming down the start finish. Other than that, like always, definitely race hard but respectable. We had a couple incidents last week where the three of us, we really don't want to see them continuing to happen. So let's give everybody a little bit of extra space if needed. You know, like I said, race hard, but let's give that just extra foot or two of space to prevent any incidents from happening. We want to see you guys battle with minimal incidents. So other than that, wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll catch you in the next 20 minutes.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck, guys.
Luck,
Good luck,
Baylor!
guys.
Look,
Good luck,
boys.
everybody.
Good luck.
Best of luck. Have fun.
Luck.
Everybody.
All
Nice.
right.
Yeehaw.
Wise
We are-
words from Aaron Myers to start these boys off.
Words that come from prior experiences and learning opportunities.
There you go.
Andy's modest.
Oh, that was a self burn on that one. All those statements came from places of me making mistakes like that once before.
Yeah.
Look at this
I remember when
field.
we first jumped on iRacing. It was tough.
Yeah, the field is looking stacked tonight. Love to see
Yeah.
it.
How many drivers do we have?
I'm gonna guess 17 cars.
Yeah, you're dead on. 17
Let's
if you remove
go,
the 3 of us
baby!
from session. Good for you.
Nice.
That's impressive.
I need to do one of those things where
Fantastic
they put a
guess.
bunch of jelly beans in a jar and I can guess it for 5K.
You know, I did that with nuts and bolts once, thinking that I knew exactly how many nuts and bolts would be in that jar, and boy, was I wrong.
How off were you?
Around 800.
Holy crap!
It looks like a really small jar. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Turns out you can fit a lot of nuts, bolts, and washers in a pretty small space.
Wild.
Okay, so in my intro monologue here, I was giving my thoughts on this track, and I feel like it's one. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it too. I was just saying that this track is great for racing, and it's also challenging in the way that there's lots of corners that are very tempting to make a move where you probably shouldn't make a move unless it's already done. For example, like if you try to dive into the first and second chicane, it can be so tempting, especially the second one because there's that little straight leading up to it. But a lot of times you pay a bigger penalty than anything you would gain by making a move there because of how slow you have to go side by side. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna let Keith take this this first answer.
I haven't personally done any racing here, but I
definitely did do side-by-side drills on Sunday, and so I mean, yeah, there's some areas where like in the passing drills even, right? Like if you didn't have that move done pretty much on corner entry, then yeah, both of you would have to choke way up, especially around like 15 where it's a pretty long left-hander and kind of off camber. Like if you get caught up on the outside of that, like you're kind of SOL coming all the way down that front straight into T1.
Yeah. There's great
Yeah.
passing zones and a lot of tempting ones. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I was just gonna say I definitely agree with both what you guys are saying, and just to elaborate on it, I think a little. To me, this track is all about being methodical, and everything has to be set up several corners in advance. And just as you're saying, you know, if we try to take a battle on into the second chicane, you might cost yourself either to the car, you might cost yourself a position either to the car that you're battling, or maybe even cars behind, as you go real slow through the first chicane or the second chicane, and then those cars get a better run on exit.
Yeah.
You're making me sound so smart. That's exactly what I said.
Okay, so here's the question that I have, you guys: is Kevin gonna get any form of a hole shot out of here for the start?
We're about to find out.
Yep.
It's a tough car to launch. I think it depends on
is.
his timing.
He's gonna have to somehow. There we go. We're off. I think. I can't tell now.
Nope, not yet.
It looked like we were cruising.
He's taking these boys to the line.
He is taking them to the green.
Green flag.
Guy. Way to be fair.
And
I would have personally tried to jump it out of 15.
Are we gonna go 6 wide like we did in practice? I see
Oh,
5
God.
wide. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Come on, gentlemen.
They're looking pretty sorted.
Yeah, everybody's giving space.
Little tap, little tap. 3
I would say
wide.
That was a good T1.
It was. It was actually very good. Nice work.
That was a fantastic T1.
Flying in
impressed.
formation like the Blue Angels, dude.
Oh, and we have our first.
Oh!
Is that
I
a,
don't know which Matthew was that.
is that a
That was
dad?
Matthew Farron exiting the first chicane.
Oh no.
Did
what
he get
happened?
tapped by Dan, or was that a solo?
I'm
go back
taking
to
a look.
Oh, Howard's
Yeah.
off.
And
Oh
that was
no.
that was just a solo from him, unfortunately.
Dang, hate to see it.
A quick rewind on this one.
Yeah, those cold tires will get you.
And another. Yep. That's tough.
Dang, bummer.
Oh, we have Dan off as well, coming into turn 8.
Well, we had a good T1.
Tempting in a few ways, I guess. You know, tempting to make moves and tempting to step on the gas, even if it's cold tires. So
Yeah.
can happen to anybody there.
Yeah, I will say when I was running some sight laps earlier this week in preparation for this, the the patience is so important around this track. You really have to get that exit set up properly before you can take that throttle to Hammertown.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I don't know if that was camera angle or what, but I think Nick Cox might have drifted the entire last corner. At least a little bit of slip angle.
Hey, kudos to him for controlling it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Did not lose that much of a run either. Guy's a little too far back to make the move.
And Kevin survives his first lap. If he can continue to pull away, this is looking like a strong race for him.
Yeah. Looks like Eddie just made the move on Jeremy for P6. I'm sure he'll be chasing down Carrie's Mercedes.
Apologies to anybody watching. My camera just... Not quite sure what happened. Tried to focus on me on the pits, and I am most definitely not in the car.
Away she goes.
You gave yourself commentator's curse.
Apparently, man.
Has anybody noticed Carrie's livery in this yet?
Olmec, right?
He's running a gold Olmec livery, and so I just went and checked because I was like, did Carrie start running with Olmec? Because that would be sick. He's not in there.
Oh wow, he just thought it looked cool, huh?
Livery looks great. Unfortunately I cannot remember the guy's name that designed it, but it looks phenomenal.
Does look really nice. Classic with the double racing
Yeah.
stripes front to back.
Sometimes racing stripes just work really well.
Oh yeah. I always think of the Viper when I see those racing stripes.
Yeah, which then makes me think of the blue NB Miata with the white racing stripes, the Baby Viper.
Baby
know,
Viper.
That makes sense to about 20 people in San Antonio, and I think that misses the rest of our audience.
Well,
This must be a famous car down there.
I've seen like a handful of blue NBs with the white stripes. But there is one down here that I know Aaron is talking about.
So as
Yeah.
it stands, Nick Cox currently has the fastest lap, and he is glued to Kevin's bumper. So this might get
Yeah.
interesting over the next 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
Kevin's gonna bring out his inner Dale Earnhardt, I can feel it.
Rattle his cage,
Yeah.
or just win.
Porque no los dos.
Got a nice train going back to 7th or 8th place here.
Yeah, this lead pack has done really well. It's sticking very close together, honestly. Like with how much 15 minutes left, this could still ultimately be anybody's race.
So
And we talked. Oh, go ahead.
Oh crap! You sure?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Go for it.
Hey, when I do that. So coming from a lot more experience with like the prototypes and the open wheelers, I never know if this is placebo or if this is actually a real thing. But in these types of like medium to high speed sweepers, when you're really following close to somebody, my head starts thinking aero wash and understeer from the dirty air from the car in front. But I don't know if that actually happens with these cars. What would you say?
I think that's definitely accurate. It tends to it tends to happen in the faster corners, more so than medium speed. The medium speed corners, since these cars rely on mechanical grip already so much as it is, aero wash doesn't seem to play that big of a factor. But let's take those two right-hand sweepers downhill and then coming up the hill about the middle of the track. I bet you they're really feeling that aero wash there.
Yeah. And
I would like to say too, real quick, Eddie has closed the gap to half a second less now to carry.
Oh yeah.
Or 5.
We're watching him on stream right now.
Nice. What I can tell you is like in the slow cars that I'm really good at driving, you really don't notice any aero wash.
Which is probably one of the hugest benefits to driving those cars. Because it pisses me off sometimes.
I could see that being a little difficult to manage.
It's like, what's your reward for catching the guy in front? Terrible understeer. Thank you.
The car's gonna drive like crap now. Good luck.
Yeah, have fun making a pass. I mean, it's part of the challenge, but yeah, it can be frustrating.
That really puts it into perspective how bad some of the aero wash can be in, F1, for example. They always talk about that, but you don't really understand or respect that until you start to drive some of the prototype cars and really feel that aero wash and tire deg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll bet you that's awful in F1 cars, especially whenever they're running like real close to each other. That's gotta feel terrible. Man, it looks like Guy broke the draft to Patterson down in P4.
Guy putting in
And-
the first 55 of the race as well.
With
I
a
was-
fastest lap. Nice.
I was just gonna comment on that one. And it looks like we've got a battle for first for 3 cars and a battle for fourth with 3 cars.
Yeah.
No, make that 4 cars.
4.
With Jeremy on the back tail.
Feel like it's worth mentioning. We've also got a McLaren in the top 10 with Barajas, just a little bit behind Phil. Killing it back there.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Does Carey have front end damage, or does that car just have like a weirdly long front spoiler?
Trying
The
to
front of
get
his car looks good to me.
Yeah, wow. In the blimp view, dude, it made it look like his front lip stuck out like 8 inches. Which I guess it is a pretty large one on that car.
It's got a hefty splitter, that's for sure. It's the type of splitter that I see kids getting way too close to stepping on at car shows, and I have to look away.
Dog, that stresses me out. But then I see like dudes my size like jumping on them, and I'm like, oh, those kids aren't gonna hurt that.
That's a good point. They're made to take a lot of weight, a lot of
Yeah, I guess
downforce.
it just depends on which one you got and how it's set up, huh?
Yeah. Is it for show or is it functional?
Yeah.
My mama says the Mercedes got all them splitter because it weighs so much.
Yeah. Your mama's probably right.
Yeah.
Guy outdoing Nick a little bit in braking. Turn 1.
Ooh.
Side by side. This is the
that gonna
tempting.
give Kevin a little bit of breathing room that he's after?
Evan does have about a second gap to P2.
Yep. Like I want to say it was Kevin we were talking about last time, you know? He doesn't even have mirrors. Doesn't need them. Doesn't care about them.
Yeah, Kevin and Nick both drive that way.
Yeah.
In a good way, not like they take people out, just like they don't let the pressure get to them. When you got
Yeah, no.
Guy, one of our graduates, breathing down their neck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
and at no point in this is Nick out here like driving in his mirrors.
It looks like Guillerme's playing a little bit of the long game too, just applying a little bit of pressure, letting Nick know that he's there, sticking his nose into his mirrors just a little bit.
Yep. I think he's just looking for that mistake. I'm waiting to see him like throw a dummy at him or something, you know?
He's definitely being patient.
Yeah.
He wants
He's
to make
listening
that
to the
move.
stream.
He wants to make that move and make sure it sticks, you know?
Yeah. He heard you talking about how important it was to be patient.
That would make my day.
Eddie's sucking up nicely to the back of Carey in the draft here. Is he going to go for the move
Yeah.
outside?
Ooh.
He's alongside, but not alongside enough.
See, but if he could have had a little bit better run to get himself to the inside for the chicane, that would have been a very good move.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy did also give her a little power slide going up the hill into the chicane, so that was pretty cool.
We have a nice battle going on between Jimmy and Dylan Caldwell as well. I think Jimmy's got the move done, but Dylan does not want to give it up either.
Oh yeah, Jimmy got past him. Oh wait, did he? Yeah, Dylan's in the pickle car.
All right, so we have about 6.5 minutes left. Be very curious to see if some of these guys can close those gaps up and really start fighting for some positions.
Eddie is putting the pressure on
Oh,
Carey.
we got a spinner. Looks like Eric
Oh no.
didn't collect anybody. No damage. Rejoins right in the clutches of Dan. Dan might have had to check up a little bit. But he's definitely in position to set up a move down the straight if he wants to, if he can get a good exit. Let's check in on Eddie.
They just went side by side into turn 1 with Carey on the inside. He needs to be careful because those two fighting at it's just gonna. Jeremy's gonna pull himself a Perez here right at the end. Just make it past both of them.
A double overtake. I gotta stop doing that.
It's me too, dude.
We always have the best ideas at the same time, don't we?
Yep. Just the way she goes.
Were you about to say that you still expect to see Jeremy in a McLaren whenever you hear his name? Because that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. No, most definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him in a Porsche. I mean, it's working.
Oh yeah.
Now it looks like he's gonna be putting some pressure on Eddie. And Jeremy won season 1, right?
Yes,
Correct.
he did.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be down in P6.
Oh, you gotta give it some time too, though. You know, I think.
New car.
Yeah, exactly. If you have the expectation of switching cars and demanding podiums, coming right into the series, it might be a bit of a definitely
Shot.
a challenge. Yeah, definitely a challenge to get there.
Yeah. Especially, honestly, going from the McLaren to the Porsche. Like, now having driven both, the McLaren is way easier to drive.
Eddie's got another run coming down to turn 1.
Let's see it.
Right
he
on
keeps
his
going to
bumper.
the outside.
He's pulling out pretty early too.
Yeah.
If he
the
just tucks into
crossover.
that,
Is he gonna make it?
I absolutely love the move though. Cause he was thinking the right thing. Like, you know, Carey's
Yep.
used to defending the outside, so he showed
Throw
him the
the dummy.
outside, and yeah, exactly what you're looking to see.
Yep.
Love it.
Oh, that was fun.
he wants that position too. He knows he's running out of time.
Yep. Got about 3.5 minutes left. Looks like he's got maybe 2 more laps. And it's interesting because through a lot of these technical bits, he closes that gap right onto Carey's bumper.
Porsche supremacy.
All right, I wonder, like, I mean, I'm sure it's probably pretty difficult to navigate the limousine through some of these corners that Carey's driving. You know, I do not understand why there's a GT4 car the size of an F-150, but whatever.
Checking in on our leader, he's not necessarily pulling away, but he's keeping that gap stable. And I noticed that he's one of the 2 or 3 guys that's deafened in the chat, so he's focused up.
Oh, he is dialed in, dude.
I will say too, there's not enough credit to leading a race from pole position.
No.
To have those types of nerves, that says a lot.
Dude, and especially this racetrack too, because it is such a long run up to T1. Like, the fact that he was able to keep the lead through T1 at the start of the race in and of itself is pretty impressive.
Eddie's got another run coming into T1.
Is he gonna throw him another dummy? Come on, Eddie. No.
Ooh, he goes late. Is he gonna try and go around?
Come on.
Does the car grip?
No.
Just not enough.
But nope, wasn't close enough to get on that inside. Dang. This has been an exciting battle to watch. You know, oh,
Thinks about it
you
in
know
the
Carrie's
chicane.
feeling the pressure.
Oh yeah.
I think we have 1 lap to go after this as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what my relative is showing. Should be good for 10.9. Did you get the flag box all set up?
Yeah.
Is it working in like replays or in pits like this, I guess?
It just shows neutral because I'm
Ah.
not in the car.
Gotcha. I really wish I could have an overlay that would just show me like the current flags.
They exist. You just can't be. You got to be in the car, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got like my relative will flash for whatever flags being pulled. Which is super
Ooh.
helpful whenever I'm in the car.
Hold on. If we
What's
have
up?
1 more lap to go, Nick has closed that door to P1.
Oh.
I should say close that gap. I don't know why I said close that door.
Oh yeah, he is down to 0.4.
We're picking up what you're putting down. No worries.
Yeah.
He's got plenty
it all
of room
made
to
sense.
draft. Looks like that draft is barely good enough for 2/10 down the straight.
Puts him right back on his. Oh, looks like they hit a
Ooh.
little bit. Everybody's still straight. It's a 0x.
Oh no!
Oh!
Okay, he checked
Careful, careful.
up.
Oh man.
Not to keep coming back to this, but that's what I'm talking about. It's so tempting. It's like the move's right there, but then it just goes away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, with the chicanes, talking about the chicanes in particular too, the way you set up that exit run, you have to stay wide on entry, stay tight on exit, and that just opens that door up for some late moves.
Yeah.
100%. But I think that checkup was good enough to give Kevin the breathing room he needs to finish this out strong, barring any mistakes. And why did I say that? Commentator's curse. No, never mind. Didn't say anything.
I take it back. I take it all back.
Take it back. 100%.
If he has any moments, I'm gonna give him your address.
I don't want the Intimidator showing up at my front door.
Dude, I'd be terrified.
And Guy thought he might get a sniff at P2 there, but it looks like it'll be Cohen, Cox, Araujo coming across the line, P1, 2, 3.
Yep. And it looks like Carey was able to fend off Eddie for almost that entire 20 minutes.
That's followed up by Jeremy, Phil, Alexander Barajas is getting ready to come down the start finish.
Followed by Jimmy and Dylan Caldwell, and kudos to Dylan for keeping up with a graduate. He kept that gap pretty steady.
Nice.
Coming to the line. Dan Fuqua, good recovery after a tough start. Eric Faust. Got Jeff Segrist. Matt Farron rounding the final corner.
It looks like we still have somebody behind him. Looks like Howard coming through turn 15 right now.
Who has regained his rear wing, so he must have come in for a fast repair.
I think he might. You know what? I think at one point I saw him with a black flag. He. No, he's only showing 11 incidents. Maybe it was just a slowdown.
Well, he did have that self-spin through, or on the exit of the first chicane. I think is where that popped up.
That's a bummer.
Alrighty.
Replay.
Shall we
Yep.
hop back in there?
Yeah, let's get in.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna switch spotters here because my spotter didn't say a word until the last lap. We started going through everything it should have been saying to me, so that was fun.
Interesting.
Wait, like your iRacing one or your cruise ship one?
No, I use DRE, Digital Race Engineer. That one, for the most part, is like when it works, it's perfect. But then like sometimes it'll do the like, hey, the race is over. Let me go through everything I should have been saying, and so I'm gonna switch to crew chief on this next one.
Yeah, fell asleep, huh? Like the spotters at Bathurst.
So much fun.
No, nothing's gonna get that trick. That's okay.
Great race, guys. Sorry to see a couple self spins on that lap 1 though. That's a bummer.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, I started to spin and then I tried to save myself and then I was like holding brakes and kind of cut across by accident and then just like tapped someone and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, crap.
Yeah, I don't know if I got tapped or if I was just overzealous around that corner, but I sent it right into the wall. Or I got sent into the wall.
Yeah, I know Farron, you and Howard both had self spins.
Okay.
It's gonna be a new session, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right there? Let me know. Okay.
Eddie, you were working hard on carry on that turn 1 move. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Definitely, yeah. I tried left, then right, surprising.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Kevin
But I
took
didn't want to touch.
right up to the line too, right at the start. Like I was like waiting, and then it
Oh.
said green flag, and then we went. It was crazy.
That was a great race start.
Oh, it worked out well. So thank you, Aaron. Good tip.
Nice.
At one point, I was like 3 wide into turn 1, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, the start
It
was
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, I actually recommend you guys go back and watch the start. It was sick. We were 2 wide for 3 or 4 rows, and then 3 wide from there on back, and
Yep.
everybody got through. It was a really good start.
I kind of miss having the Marcus faster excuse.
What excuse?
The excuse that the Porsche's just bad on this track.
Because it's actually pretty good on this track now.
Yeah, it's really good on this track. Like, God damn it. I have to actually take accountability for my driving.
Let me see if I can.
No, wait a minute. You don't take accountability. You take accountability for everybody else's spins on track. I think you're allowed a liberty.
There
I
you
do
go.
that.
You've built
That
up
is
a
true.
nice account of of taking credit for other people's wrecks. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I think the Mercedes guys, sorry, Carrie, are the reckless one. And then the last official today, I was 5th, and Mercedes bumping out of the track, so I lose 4 positions because of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that was my bad. Sorry, dude.
I saw a Mercedes and I saw a reckless guy for some reason.
Yeah, they might be overcompensating for the car not being as strong as it sometimes is. Or they're just goofy. I don't know, Carrie, are you goofy?
Very goofy, like the dog.
Goofy like the adjective.
Oh, I see. Shout out to the Goofy movie. One of the all-time greats.
That's what made me like snow or skateboarding.
Yeah, dude, that movie fucking kicked ass.
Yeah, man. Or maybe that was the extremely goofy movie. Anyways.
All right, so for what it's worth, the Porsche is not the strongest car here this week, but it's definitely not as bad as it was at Daytona.
It was awful last week.
That's good to know.
What is the strongest car here?
Mercedes and Aston Martin beat the Porsche here.
Haha, take that, Carrie.
I don't know. This track is just weird to me.
It's a tricky circuit.
Great.
I definitely love the flow around here, but you know, a lot of it's like fast and medium speed corners, and then we have the 2 chicanes where you're checking up quite a bit, and it can be a little awkward. So
Yeah, that first chicane is as Alex knows, been a little weird for me the past couple days. So
I think that first one, that's where I realized how light you can actually brake there, and it turns you pretty well.
it's the exit of like the second part of the chicane that kind of
getting
kills
set
me.
up. Yeah, I go off a lot there.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I just like always I seem to hit it weird sometimes and just go off. But I'm gonna stop talking because we're in quali.
Oh shit, it is. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Now you
Yeah.
know.
good luck,
Good luck.
gentlemen.
I know we're trying to qualify. I don't want to interrupt everyone, but I just rewatched the race and then I got to your comment about my livery. I didn't know Omek was a racing team. I just thought it looked cool, like you said.
It's a league, yeah. Should check it out.
I just pick liveries based off of. I don't think I've seen that yet, and it looks kind of rare, so I'm gonna embrace that. That's usually how I do it.
It is a great looking car.
It is a great car, but I just feel like I'm just battling with it just to get around the corner. Jeremy, it was fun racing with you in the race earlier today.
Looks like Guy's going to be shaking things up. The pole position for the time being. I don't know if Kevin's logged a lap yet in this session, so we'll see if he can challenge him. Jeff Segrist currently holding P2 with Eddie Montalvo coming in at P3. And I accidentally just exited out of the session. I am very sorry. Wish I could blame the game crashing, but I just misclicked the X. So, one moment, I'm already getting loaded back in. Jeez. Should have plenty of time before quali finishes, though. We are nearly back in. My apologies. There we go. And after our unexpected break, it looks like Guy's been able to hold his position at pole. Kevin Cohen coming in with a 156.7 for now 6th place. I wonder if he was pushing and might have gotten an off track.
Well, this track is showing me a level of inconsistency that I don't think I've experienced in a while.
This
Yeah,
track
stuck in
giving
this
me
track.
a hard time. Dylan, look at our lap times.
You guys too?
Oh no, what is up? Are we like exactly the same?
Exactly
Oh
the
my
same.
God.
Dude, no way! Literally, like, jeez.
Down to the 100th of a second. That's crazy.
And then in real race rules, it's
Yeah.
whoever did it first, right?
I believe so, yeah. In iRacing, I think it's going to class you on who has the higher I rating.
Well, that's
Try
racist.
rating?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it is whoever did it first, because Farron does have a higher I rating.
Yeah, I was about to say I only have like an 870, 650 something.
Okay, also, essentially every race I've done here this week, I've been in the top split. And then it just be like, oh yeah, this is around your I rate, and strength of field would be like 2.4k. And then it would just be like 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 6.1, 7.3, 0.5. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. So I've been getting destroyed in every race I've done so far this week.
Yeah, they don't seem to be very well populated. I've definitely had some like 5,000s in my in the race I did. It's like, well, no, he's gonna win.
Yeah, but you always hope they crash out because it's just such an easy I rating farm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's qualifying. Congratulations to Guillermo. Pole sitter for race 2. Nice job, man.
I like race 2. It always seems
Hello,
to
hello.
really
You guys
change
hear me now?
everything up. Yeah, okay.
There he is.
Yeah, I was having a mic problem, sorry. But thank
No
you,
worries.
Aaron.
All right. Race 2. An opportunity for everybody to get that position you couldn't get a hold of last race.
Retribution.
Something like that.
I've got my gun this time.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Serious.
Do not shoot the other drivers.
It's Florida driving.
Please and thank you.
All we hear is he like spins out.
I drive by.
I don't have much to go over for race 2. You guys put together a great race 1, so do it all over again. Just again as a reminder, since we're changing it up though, Guillermo, you set the pace and you take off whenever you feel comfortable and want to get things started. You guys do not have to wait for green, but you do have to wait for Guillermo.
And friendly reminder, easy on throttle. First couple of laps, seemed like corner exit was biting the most drivers for the first few laps. So just easy on throttle, let the tires heat up, and then you can chase the guy in front of you down.
Yeah, great point. Thank you for that.
Anytime, my friend.
All right, guys. Well, good luck, and we'll catch you guys in 20 minutes.
Good luck, guys.
Have
Good luck.
fun. Good luck.
Good luck,
Luck, everybody.
All right. Rematch
Yeehaw.
time.
I made a misclick and I accidentally exited out of the session about halfway through the.
Oh no.
So we missed a little chunk for the stream there. I was expecting to see Kevin starting up on pole again since he was pretty dominant, but
Me too.
I don't know if you guys might have caught if there's an off track in some of his laps or, but as Kerry was saying, this is a really hard track to be consistent at, so it easily could have been that as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Let's see, third row. So I was definitely expecting at least a top 3 as a repeat from him, but I think he's going to be pretty feisty to make his way through the field too. So we'll see
The
what
Intimidator
happens.
gets to Intimidator.
That's right.
Very excited to see it. Gee, the pace car is there to pace.
Not to race.
He's ready to rock and roll, baby.
I want to jump back in there and tell him to drive through the pace car so bad.
First time I saw that, I was so disturbed. I was like, what is happening? Oh.
Dude, I didn't trust it at first. Like, we were in, I think, just like a hosted session when everybody was like, or I think I was just messing around. I was like, I'm gonna hit the pace car. And the next thing I knew, I was inside of the pace car's, like, engine compartment.
Yeah, right.
Also, I really love, like, changing the pace car. So I vote next week's race, we make the pace car the truck.
I think we have the option to make the M2 pace car now.
Oh, really?
Well. Yeah.
M2 pace car is cool.
You know what? It might be. Yeah, maybe for next week we can debut it. I know its debut will be for the Daytona 24 this weekend.
Oh.
They
That's
realized that its normal race pace is the same as the pace car anyways, so they figured they'd just throw it in. Sorry.
That's why I love watching like the F1 pace car, because it's like, that dude's out there driving at like 10 tenths, whereas all of the drivers behind him are like crawling.
Yawning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Stretching
guy
their
gets
fingers.
after it though.
He does.
Forget his
Fantastic driver.
name. Yeah. He eats those curbs just like the F1 guys do.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of watching F1 is when we get a safety car. I'm sorry that watching the Aston rip is just more exciting than watching the F1 cars.
All right. Do we have any predictions for this race? You guys waiting to see a spicy battle heat up? What are we thinking?
Go ahead.
Go for it, Clayton.
Ditto.
Okay, I'm saying Eddie P1. We'll see what
Okay.
happens. That's my prediction.
He's in a great starting position being in P3.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the momentum.
Yeah. No, he definitely does. I'm really hoping that we get a Kevin Cohen back-to-back win here.
Oh, that would be exciting too.
I don't want to sit here and display favoritism, but just Dale Earnhardt's got a soft spot for me,
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's nothing against the guys in the front row, of course.
Not at all.
The way that Eddie was racing the last race, and the way I've been seeing him do in the publics, I feel like he's got the ability to come away with a win here, and I think it would be his first win in our league.
Eddie, I thought he won last week, one of them, I think. I have to go, but I'll go back and look at the results.
Shoot. If I forgot that already, that's terrible.
Eddie has been really bringing the heat this whole season, I feel like.
Green flag.
Agreed.
I agree.
Ooh, Kevin has quite the run on Nick coming down the start finish.
I can't help it. I love our liveries, but I find myself pulling for the Dale,
Ooh, and Nick fights back up the inside. And we have a little bit of contact between those two. We do have a 100% survival rate through T1.
Good job, boys.
And I see somebody had an incident, but it looks like everybody's good to go.
Yeah, I think it was a little wide on the exit of the chicane, just throwing some sand on track.
They just want to make sure that they get the marbles out there.
Oh boy, I totally missed it. Eddie's up to P2
Yeah.
and really pressuring.
Eddie took P2 on turn
Yo.
1.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't bet. I might be losing some money here if so.
Yeah.
Guy will certainly give him a run for that money, but all it takes is one mistake. Stick in that draft, let the tires heat up, and then he can get after it.
Absolutely.
I would like to say too, Clayton, I was wrong. Eddie did not win last week. He 100% had the pace to, but I think that was when he was having those internet issues and dropped out of both races.
That's right. Yeah, he dropped off. Yep, that sounds right. Jimmy going for a mover on the outside of Carey.
Oh no!
Oh!
Uh-oh. What's happening?
We had a spin from Eddie coming out of the last turn, unfortunately.
Oh, no! The commentator's curse! No!
Damn, we should have bet.
Why did I do that? I think he was trying to set up that run into the straightaway. Might have gotten the gas on a little too early. Is that what you guys are thinking?
I'd have to let's. I'm gonna have a look at that replay. Let's see.
It keeps taking me to the pace car. Sorry, anybody that's
Oh
watching.
no, we got another spinner. Who was that?
Jeffrey.
Was that Jeff? It looked like him and Kevin had a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, Eddie just a little bit too aggressive on throttle, and touched a little bit of the curbing on the inside, exiting that last corner, unfortunately.
Yep. So easy to do.
Yeah, and then looked like there's a little bit of contact between Kevin and Jeffrey, caused Jeffrey to just loop her around.
Jamie's all over Phil here coming into the carousel.
Yeah.
The
Gotta be
grip just
careful.
falls away on the outside of that corner, though.
Yeah, looks like he managed to keep his position. I thought he might lose it out to Carey.
All right. Ooh, and we have a 2x2 from Dan and Howard coming down the start-finish.
Ooh. I mean, we watched it all last race. The inside obviously works better.
The outside can be done, but it is tough to pull off.
Yep. Was that a twofer move by Dan right there? No, Howard wasn't ahead of him. They were side by side. Did make past Jeremy though.
Oh, the double move from Jeremy. Inside second chicane. Can he get the exit?
Oh man, these guys are going to be battling.
Oh, he does have the exit.
Excellent racing.
Wow, he had a great exit out of there.
And that brings Barron into the mix as well as Caldwell.
Yep. And I mean, we got to give Dan credit where credit's due. That BMW is an absolute monster to drive.
I still have not driven it, but I've seen enough clips where I think
Dude.
it looks absolutely unruly.
It is an absolute beast. Because the car, like, wants to simultaneously understeer and oversteer on you and just kill you.
Jimmy's getting the move done maybe on Phil in the Cookie Monster car.
Oh!
Stay in
Looks
the
like he's gotta
gas.
run.
He's got
And
it.
Carey comes into the mix
Oh.
too.
Carey coming to take a little look-see.
That
we
puts
got
Jimmy into the top 5. Go ahead, sorry.
we got Dan and Howard side by side again, with Matthew Farron now side by side with Howard. Dan got a little bit of a run out of turn 15.
Will he regret leaving room on the inside there to Farron? Oh, door banging. Oh, man.
That was quite the squeeze.
And maybe a little more.
I can't just shove people into pit lane.
There was a
Where's
little
Kevin
bit of
at?
iRacing magnetism happening there, it looked like.
Yeah, I believe it. Kevin Cohen did just cross the line in this last lap with the fastest lap of the race so far with a 56.8. We saw a 55 last race, yeah?
Yeah, I believe a 55.9 from Guillermo.
That is quick.
Guillermo and Nick are just about checked out from the rest of this race too.
Yeah.
They have about a 4-second gap to Alex and P3.
They just gotta run their race from here on out, really.
Howard inside of Dan going into the carousel.
They're running side by side this whole race.
Dylan looks like he got around Matt Farron. And if Howard and Dan keep fighting, might get a chance to get a twofer on them as well. Let's see if he can keep his foot in the gas. Benefit from the double draft going down the straightaway.
Oh, and it looks like Farron is not done being a problem for Dylan just yet, making a move past him in the straight. Will he finish it by the braking zone? Yes, he does.
There you go, to your point, Aaron. You can make the outside move work in T1. You just got to be really confident on the brakes and nail your trailing.
Yep, absolutely.
And just like that, we've got Matthew Farron right back into the mix against Howard and Dan for, what is that, P9?
Yes, Dan's running P9. And Jeremy's taking advantage of all this battling to run 3 seconds up the road from them.
Yep. Man, and then we still have a three-way battle for P6 with Phil, Carey, and Jeremy. Phil running a little bit wide, Carey to the inside. Looks like he is going to be able to make that one stick. Oh, Kevin Cohen has really closed this gap to Patterson. He's 0.2 behind him for P3.
Now the question is, will these guys work together?
Nope,
not
move
look
to the
like
inside.
I guess I spoke a little too soon.
Hell no. See, the Intimidator's intimidating, man.
Patterson might have been setting up a move on intentionally there. Look at his draft.
Oh, yeah.
He might have said...
so Patterson is going to work with him.
Yeah, Patterson wants to work together.
Okay.
Turns out you did not speak too soon. It's a very therapist move. Good for him.
Outside's tough. Yep,
Watch, he just gave him the bump, hoping he'd blow the braking to get back past him in T1.
I was wondering if he might have gotten out of the way in the final corner to get the draft going down into T1 on purpose.
It's possible.
Oh.
I can see he doesn't want to work together that much.
Yep. He realized there's only 10 minutes left.
And Guillermo sets the fastest lap so far with a 56.2 without a draft.
Cooking up there, dude. Oh, I get it. Patterson wanted the draft for the fastest lap.
Maybe so.
big brain moves back here in P4, man.
And we have another fight brewing between Jeremy and Phil a little bit farther back.
Ooh.
Oh, the move. Okay. He's doing a great job sticking in his mirrors, but not overcommitting. Getting to the inside through the final corner.
Oh, and he gets it set up. Can he hold on to it down the start finish?
Oh. Get that side draft, boys. We talked about this in depth like a week ago.
It's true. What did they learn about side drafting in Daytona? Let's see. They're certainly not close enough to be doing it now. It's just a flat-out
No.
drag race.
Oh, and Phil goes deep, but he hangs on to the car.
Oh.
And that's brought Dan back into the mix a little bit too. He's about 9/10 behind, so he might be
Yeah.
able to close that up and get involved as well.
He definitely has the time to.
Oh, did I see some fighting a little bit further back with Barajas and Eddie? Think so. Barajas, I think, just got that move done on Eddie, but Eddie's not done fighting yet. Hanging it on the outside of the carousel. See if he can keep the momentum. Just loses the spot before that final chicane. If you can even call it that. I guess that's a chicane, right? Even if it's flat.
It's got the looks and the structure to it.
Yeah.
High speed zigzag.
Yeah, it's pretty questionable. It's pretty questionable being flat out, but we're gonna count it.
Hey, that's my favorite kind of chicane.
There you go. It's just the ones we can take flat out.
Yeah,
They're the best.
Just
The
give me
ones you completely drive through. Nice.
Give me
That's how all chicanes should be designed.
a high speed wiggly boy. I'll take it.
As a previous teammate of mine would call it, it's a little wiggle waggle.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You just gotta herk and jerk your way through there.
Precisely. Shout out to Darren for coming up with those great terms for us to use.
Living my head rent free.
Can I move into your head? I don't like paying rent.
Man, you and me both.
Okay, Jeremy and Phil still going at it. Dan joining the mix as well. And a little bit up the road, Patterson's still in the draft of Kevin Cohen.
Yeah, I was just checking in on them. Looks like he's 0.6 behind. Curious if he'll be able to make that move back into P3 before the end of this. Looks like he's got about 3 laps to do it. Oh, and a little blink from Patterson. That was scary.
Oh, I halfway expected another dive to the inside from Jeremy, but he chooses to tuck behind and get the good exit. Phil's not letting it bug him though, and
Oh.
Carey is glued onto the back of Jimmy right now. Jimmy got by carrier earlier in the race. Let's see what that Mercedes can do on the outside line at T1. Electing to tuck back in.
Oh.
Jimmy's trapped to the inside of the chicane. That can be painful. Able to hang on to the spot. Gosh, the Mercedes does sound good though.
Yes, it does.
Those
don't care.
those V8 cars are a hard sound to beat.
That's true.
The best sounding car on here is the Corvette GT3. Hands down.
Hot take. Oh, Jimmy goes a little wide.
Oh. A little bit behind, so did Dan, which is going to really open the door for Farron potentially.
Howard is gluing himself onto the back of this battle between Jeremy and Phil as well.
Oh, is Jeremy setting something up? No, not yet.
I think Jeremy's playing the long game as well.
Think so.
Okay, am I crazy? Is that also a cookie on Jeremy's hood? What am I?
I think it's the Porsche logo.
Oh, what?
I think. Let me see.
I'm looking at that Cookie Monster car. I'm just seeing cookies apparently. Oh yeah, no, that's not a cookie.
It's not the Porsche livery. It's God. What is that from?
All right, got the draft. He's looking to the outside again. Phil knows this inside defense pretty well at this point in the race. Doesn't faze him too much. And that outside line gets Howard just a couple, maybe a car length closer, putting him right in range.
Yeah.
But coming up the hill, right after this dive down to the right, coming up the hill is where I feel you're gonna feel the most aero wash. That's where it's gonna be really hard to follow closely behind another car.
Yep, completely agreed there.
Phil going a little bit wide.
Oh, but he places his car perfectly, and Jeremy has to check up.
Yeah, which really helped out Howard there.
Now Jeremy's in a spot where he's got to apply the pressure, and he's taking some of the heat too.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot to be in.
You gotta play a good game of I'm gonna fight you, but I'm also going to defend.
Yeah, those little mental moves where you're just trying to get into somebody's mirrors, those can actually open you up to a dive bomb if you're not careful with the timing. Oh,
Ooh,
big run.
Jeremy's got a run.
Inside.
He's got it.
Yep. Good move.
Howard might sneak through too.
Oh.
It's going to be a drag race.
Side draft? Side draft?
Phil made this work the first time as well.
Yeah. Let's defend off that inside. Oh,
and Dan comes from a mile back.
No!
That that was very ambitious, to put it nicely.
He ends up paying for it. He's the only one missing a bumper. Let's see that move again. Yeah, he's about 2 car lengths back. Yeah, that was never going to happen. He actually collected Jeremy in that too.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It looks like this is white flag, so I think. I can't tell anymore. I don't think this should be.
That's put Farron in the mix between Jeremy and Phil.
Yeah. Hopefully Jeremy came out of that without any like wheel damage.
Looks like his wheel's straight, going in a straight line, so I think he just about
Sweet.
got away with it.
And not to go unnoticed, we have a spin from P2 with Kevin running the fastest lap and picking up that position.
Oh my god. No. Oh man, Nick was running such a good race.
I haven't seen it come across my relative yet. He must have really had a hard one. Maybe he towed.
So Kevin and P2 followed by
There it goes.
Patterson, Carey, and Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Cox is crabbing pretty badly here.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, he spun and just nosed it straight into the wall.
Man,
That sucks.
that's a tough way to finish that one.
Oh, a little
That's
bit of
a
grass.
bummer. Yep.
He was going for the lead on that move.
Yeah.
I see dudes disconnecting. Did we already collect the checkered flag?
Yeah, that was checkered.
Wow.
Yeah, I was way wrong. There was not a whole lap left. That was white flag.
Even the race labs timer is off.
Right? Mine's still showing we have race time.
Yeah. All right,
Cool.
gentlemen.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, that concludes race 2 for us.
Yes, sir.
Jinx, and thanks for joining me in the broadcast booth. You guys are always legends. Let's
Anytime.
hop in there and see what we got cooking post race.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh crap! What were you saying?
I'll be there in about 30-45 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
A Logitech mouse.
No.
Okay. So, I realized that my stutters is because I have a Logitech mouse, and when it goes to sleep mode, and then like because I have it on my wheelbase and it shakes, and then it comes out of sleep mode, that causes the stutter. So turning off my mouse and turning it back on, that's what causes the stutter.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah,
have a
I'm doing
wireless.
that.
I have wireless
How about
Logitech
Logitech?
too.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a Logitech, and does that happen?
I get stutters, but I haven't tried to turn it off yet, so I'll try that.
Yeah, like if you're still in the sim, just like sit in the car, or at least just like play the replay or something, turn off your mouse and turn it back on, it should stutter, and then that's the reason why.
All right, I'll give it
That's
that
crazy.
only
Is
the
it just like
G-Hub?
reestablishing its like connection?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it goes to sleep mode.
Yeah. Wild.
Damn, guys,
Eddie,
that
I'm
was a
sorry.
fun
I couldn't
race.
go for a second.
No, I'm seeing less stutter on my VR since I do that. Since I turn off my Logitech mouse.
Yeah, I did that this race and it's been working, so I've been turning off my mouse.
Well,
Nice
great.
second race, guys.
Great job, guys. Yeah, a lot of good battles. We were following like 3 different battles throughout nearly the whole race, and then a couple others throughout there. Looked like everybody was definitely a lot more comfortable this time around on a very difficult track. So, hope you had fun out there.
Yeah, I felt like I was boxing for position with Howard and I think it was Jeff.
Yeah, I started to catch up to you guys, and I just lost it. I just kept on falling back. I don't even know what happened that race. That was just, ugh.
I tried to push too hard right at the end. I was like, I'm gonna go for this move on the last turn, and then I spun.
Yeah, I was like, wait, how am I ahead of Eric? I mean Nick. I was like, how am I ahead of Nick?
Dude, that was such a bummer.
Yeah, because I was gaining, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it, and then yeah, I just overcooked it, I guess.
Way she
Just
goes
fire
sometimes.
up, yeah.
Guys, I'm not staying for the review. It's so late here, so I'm going to bed.
All right, brother. Great win.
Great race tonight, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Good
Have a
race.
good night, man.
See you
Stop being
guys.
so good.
Yeah, sorry guys, I gotta say the same. 10:30's time to get to bed. Sorry.
Understandable.
good.
Great races, man. Good recovery race tonight.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you everyone. It was a great night.
Hell yeah.
Second one was definitely way better than the first. For me.
Can anybody hear Jeremy? I saw him popping up again, but I feel like I still can't hear him.
I don't think he's talking right now, but. Oh, I can't hear him.
he's like clicking something, I think. So it's like picking up on his mic. 'Cause I
Gotcha.
heard like a little thing when his mic came on.
Shifting gears. So, thoughts, comments, concerns? Everybody have fun?
Yeah, that was fun.
It was
It was
definitely
fun.
fun. I'm not the biggest fan of this track for some reason. Like, it just doesn't click with me.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I mean, you ran 2 very good races back to back.
The only turn I really don't like is that one after the chicanes. It just feels like.
Wait, which chicane?
Like after both chicanes, that turn to the right. Before
Oh,
you
the
get long.
really fast right-hander?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What do
That one
you brake
always-
for that?
I usually go for a lift. I usually don't brake, but this race I started putting like a tiny little tap on the brakes. It seems like it depends on the conditions on this track, because sometimes it's fine, but other times it's not.
So when it's clear like this, I'm also driving the Mercedes, so it could be a little bit different. But whenever we're about to approach that, there is the right hand or the left hand side. There are the like emergency vehicles on the left. I kind of like look for that, and then once the red vehicle kind of like goes out of my view, I hit the brake slightly and just like initial brake and then like coast into the corner and then punch it. That's kind of how we're doing it.
That's probably the better way to do it.
It could be different with the Porsche though. I have been driving the Merc, so I'm trying to be different.
There are times when the lift works, but it just maybe just that little bit of brake to turn you in better, so you can get on the throttle earlier is better.
I don't know if I was too aggressive back in the back, right there where Alexander, Barajas, and Dylan. Don't know what you saw.
No, I was not driving good, and you did a clean pass, so.
I think I pushed. I tried to keep it clean with Alexander, but I fight a really good fight with him.
Yeah, I didn't really see that.
And then I said, "Fuck it."
So I'm rewatching the replay right now, and it hurts watching you try to figure out what the livery of Jeremy's is when the Parks and Rec sign drives right by, and I'm like, dude, it's right there.
I couldn't see it. I had him in a blimp, and then I figured it out like probably 30 seconds after that, and was like, I'm over this. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, during the race, because like I had him early in my race today, and I'm just like, oh, cool. I didn't realize Jeremy's in there, and I'm like, Parks and Recreation. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's a great livery.
Is that what that logo is?
Yep. It's the City of Pawnee thing.
Yep.
Gotcha.
City of Pawnee.
Oh,
See,
I knew it was something with that.
I was watching. Well, we were all watching Jeremy chasing Phil with the Cookie Monster car, and then I saw the brown logo on Jeremy's car. I was like, "Is that also a chocolate chip cookie? What am I looking at here?" But no, okay, Pawnee makes sense. Yeah, you guys had a great fight.
Yeah.
Man, I was sweating. Because he's faster than me, and I was doing everything I could to keep him behind me the whole time.
All right,
There's
sorry
nothing
guys.
scarier than needing to
Welcome
defend
back.
and attack at the same time.
So my replay file is broken somehow. So Clayton, I don't know if you'd be willing to pull it up and do some reviews of stuff, but for whatever reason, I only caught like a couple laps.
For race 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have the session up.
Okay.
1 minute. Let me just sign off the YouTube stream. All right, so we're going to get into our post-race review with the graduates. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and we will